Hi, I'm Shelli Johnson. Today we're going to be talking about giving yourself permission to do what you want to do with your life. I know a lot of people don't give themselves permission. They look outside themselves for somebody else to give them permission. And so that's why I made a whole video about it. It's that important. You don't need anybody else's permission to live the life that you want.
You hereby have permission to change, modify, or completely ignore any weight loss techniques and rules that don't work for you.
I know there are a lot of people out there that say it's their way or the highway, you're doing it wrong, you've got to do it my way. No, you don't. You can change or modify anything you need to so that it works for you. So you figure out what works for you and you do that. And there's no harm in that whatsoever. In fact, that's the healthiest thing you could do, because there's no way that what worked for one person is going to be exactly the same thing that works for you, and that's okay. The only way that I've found to stick with anything long term is to fix it so that it works for my particular needs. So that's why I've been able to keep the weight off for so long, because I figured out what works for me and I do that. The other thing is, if somebody's telling you rules that you need to follow, especially for weight loss rules, if that's not working for you, then you can ignore those. There's no reason that you have to follow a rule that's just not working for you. It just makes you crazy and makes you feel like a failure. So you don't have to follow anything that's not working for you, and you don't have to do any technique exactly the way somebody says. You modify it and you change it and you make it suit your particular needs.
You hereby have permission to put yourself first.
I know how easy it is to put yourself low on the priority list. And there's school, work, family, friends, other obligations, and then all of a sudden, if you put enough stuff in front of you on that list, you're way at the bottom if you don't fall off entirely. And then all of a sudden you're not getting any of your needs met, and then you're frustrated and angry and don't understand why. And then you end up feeling like, what happened to your life? And what happened to your life is that you didn't make yourself a priority. And the problem with that is you won't get where you want in weight loss, and I would also argue you won't get where you want in life if you are not number one on your own priority list. You have wants and needs that need to be met also, and they won't get met if you are not pursuing those. It's not anybody else's job to save your life. It's your job to save your own life. And you won't do that unless you're a priority. You matter, and your needs matter, and your wants matter, and you will not be able to create a life that you want for yourself by not putting yourself first. So you have permission right now to make a to-do list, put your name at the very top of that list, and make sure that you meet your own needs and your own wants.
You hereby have permission to find what makes you feel alive, then go do it.
This one's about finding what you love and then going and doing it. There is something in this world that you love to do. Yes, there is. And it's your job in this lifetime to figure out what that is and then go do it no matter what. That something you love is energizing and exciting, and it makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. And when you do it, you lose time. And when you're not doing it, all you want to do is go back and do it. That's what you need to find, and you need to go do it no matter what. And people don't do it because they're afraid. They're afraid of what other people think, or they're afraid it won't make them money or give them power or prestige or whatever fleeting definition of success society offers, and that's why they don't do it. And I would argue with you, having lived it, that is the reason right there that people abuse substances and behaviors. And that includes food. If you are denying yourself things that you love, you are going to fill that with something. There's a void there. And if you're abusing food, that's what you're filling it with. And you will find that once you start pursuing what you love and doing it on a regular basis, the want to abuse food will ease, if not completely go away, especially if you make doing what you love a priority in your life.
You hereby have permission to create the life you want.
This one is about creating a life that you want. It's nobody else's job to create a life for you. That's your job. But that's the great news, though, because you can create whatever you want. I know there are a lot of people out there who will tell you what you should want or who you should be. You can ignore them because this is your life. So what do you want? That's what you need to do. That's the only thing you need to do. What do you want for your life? What do you want it to look like? Do you want it to be something big and grand, or do you want it to be something small and comforting? What do you want? That's what matters. I was in a car accident a little while ago, and my life could have been over in a split second. And I realized after that I didn't have things in my life that I wanted. And so it was my job from that point forward to make sure that I got what I wanted for my life. And I've been doing that ever since. So I can tell you without a doubt that this is your life, it's only your life, and you do not want to get to the end of it not having the life that you wanted. So you go ahead and you give yourself permission right now to create whatever it is you want for your life. And just know that wanting it for your life is reason enough to pursue it.
You hereby have permission to let go of anything that's harming you or not serving you.
So this is the part where you get rid of the stuff that's not good for you. And you know it's not good for you, and it's time to get rid of it, because if you don't, you will go in circles for the rest of your life. I know that because I did that for years and years and years, went round in circles, wondering why I couldn't move forward. It's because I wouldn't let go of the things that were harming me and not doing me any good whatsoever. I would hang on to stuff because it was familiar to me, and so it felt safe to me. The problem is that, you can't go forward if you're going in circles, and it wasn't serving me in any way whatsoever. And the only way out of that circle is to break the cycle and let go of things that no longer serve you. And I know that can be scary because what's familiar seems safe, but it's actually not safe. It's actually harming you. And, you exchange your life for what you're going to do with your time. And are you spending your time going in circles? Are you moving forward and creating a life that you want and creating a life that you love, And it's hard to do that when you're going in circles, especially with food, because if you overeat and then you beat yourself up for overeating and then you overeat some more because you're beating yourself up, and then that's a circle also. And around and around and around you go. What do you want to do with your time? Do you want to spend it going around in circles with things that hurt you and don't serve you anymore? Or do you want to let them go and go in a straight line toward what you want? It really is a choice you need to make. And so give yourself permission to make it, and give yourself permission to let go of those things that don't serve you anymore and in fact are harming you.
You hereby have permission to give yourself permission.
This one's about being the authority in your own life. I mean, you already are the authority in your own life, but I know that you might not treat yourself that way. And I just want you to know that you don't need anyone else's permission but your own to live the life that you want. So you don't have to wait around for approval or permission or anything else from somebody else. If you want it for your life, that's reason enough to go pursue it. So you just give yourself permission and you go on and you do what it is you want to do.
Start Where You Are Weight Loss will help you give yourself permission and help you find what works for you. It will also help you lose the weight and keep it off.
Just remember, every mistake is simply a brand new chance to do it better the next time. I'll see you next week.